I've had to keep a lot of secrets. It was like these tiny little lies, constant tiny little lies. There were some things that were so scary that I wouldn't even admit them to myself. Like, yes, I broke the law. With that came a lot of shame and feeling of guilt and feeling like I was doing something wrong, or like I was wrong as a human being. My biggest secret, of course, was that I was undocumented. So when someone hears that I worked on Wall Street, they're like, wait a minute, how is that even possible? Right? How is it possible that someone who is undocumented made it to Wall Street? And to Goldman Sachs, of all places, on Wall Street. Right? And that you became a vice president. I knew that I had a powerful story to tell. I mean, I thought about it for a long time. My family didn't want me to share my story. For me, it really was about recognizing that there are millions of people who still don't have access to the same opportunities I had access to.
You spell your last name for me?
A-R-C-A-R-C. I was born in Mexico, grew up in Texas, and each time I tell my story, I become more and more empowered by it. The more stories we tell, the more we'll be able to change the conversation around immigration.
One of the difficult issues facing the country is what to do about the millions of illegal immigrants, many if not most of them from Mexico, who come here to work.
I'd like to see something done about the illegal alien problem, because we have kind of made illegal some kinds of labor that I'd like to see legal.
I'm going to do everything I can to get an immigration bill that will give us once again control of our borders.
Officials say the border is now totally out of control.
The Hispanic population grows while Congress agonizes.
All Americans are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country, and we must do more to stop it.
The system is broken, in my judgment, because there are 11 to 12 million people living in the shadows of a free society.
Massive surge of illegals slipping across the border.
It is an absolute overflowing mess. The federal government is just absolutely failing.
Our borders have been porous for decades. The legal immigration system is as broken as the borders.
We have 11 million people who lack legal status in the United States, who've lived here for a long time, yet have no social, economic, political, or civic right in this country. And it's just unhealthy for a democratic country to have such a large population of people who are excluded and repressed. Now, with the acceleration of deportations and the borders so militarized, it really causes a lot of human damage in both Mexico and the United States.
¿Quién es? Hola, don Raúl, ¿cómo está?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y ustedes?
Nada, aquí don Raúl trabajando. ¿Cómo ha estado? ¿Qué dice la chamba?
Bien, bien, gracias.
¿Apenas salió de trabajar?
Ajá.
¿Sí? ¿Y qué tal estuvo el trabajo? ¿Bien?
Bien, bien, gracias a Dios.
A ver, don Raúl, usted va a mandar, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Quién le va a usted a mandar, don Raúl?
A mi esposa.
O a su esposa.
Most of our clients are undocumented, and that is why my mom, I think, has the business she has now. A paquetería is, I call it a mini UPS. It's mailed to Mexico.
Ok, deme usted su valor de su paquete, don Raúl, por favor.
$650.
My mom travels every week to Mexico. When they want to send something, it's just one day and it's already there. ¿Es nuevo la paquetería? ¿Es algo muy reciente?
No. Hay señores ya muy grandes que son pioneros de hace 25 años, 30 años.
¿Y por qué le va a mandar esto, don?
Porque fue su cumpleaños y... Aunque tarde, pero...
Está hermosa. Se ve que la quiere usted mucho, ¿verdad?
Pues...
Esos amores duran pocos.
Imagino.
¿Cuántos años tiene usted de casado con ella?
Voy a ser 29.
29 años.
¿Cuánto tiempo sin verla?
8. 8 años, sí.
¿Sin verla?
Sin verla.
¿Quiere usted que le mande?
Chapulines.
¿Chapulines? ¿Y por qué chapulines?
Pues...
¿Le gustan?
Me encantan.
De México para acá es cosas más como que se le antoja a la persona que está aquí por muchos años. Sí, o sea, como el mole de mi abuelita es el mole de mi abuelita. I love working with my mom. She's connecting them in a way that they can't anymore. She brings that little part of what's missing.
Tráelo, por favor. Okay.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Bien.
Pues aquí chambeando, mujer, ¿qué vamos a hacer? No hay de otra.
The pacatera is a means of adapting to a very unpleasant and difficult reality with undocumented people trapped north of the border because they can no longer circulate back and forth.
¿La Mimi?
A lot of people use the term caged in. They would like to go back for a visit, but they can't because if they go back, they know that it will be difficult and costly and risky to return to the United States.
Esta es mi gran familia.
¿Qué tiempo tienes que no ves a tus hijos, a tu mamá? Wow, mucho tiempo.
Les das un abrazo bien fuerte. It's very sad to see that. I don't know what I would do if I wouldn't be able to see my mom for a year even. I am undocumented. I didn't always know. I knew that I came here, but I didn't know I was doing it legally. I came here when I was 5, and I crossed through what it's called the line, la línea. It's in a car through the border. I still remember they told me I had to act like I was sleeping, and that I was going to see my mom on the other side.
Yo sé que fue muy fuerte traer a mi hija por la frontera tan pequeña.
When they were checking my passport, I don't even know what it was, they flashed a light in my face. And so I remember that. I remember the house I was waiting for to wait for my mom. I'm sorry.
Si a ella le hubiera pasado algo, jamás me lo iba a perdonar. Y dije, voy a luchar con ella, voy a tratar de que mi hija salga adelante porque quiero otro tipo de vida para mi hija y para mi madre y para mis hermanos. No quise dejarla, quise que estuviera siempre conmigo y aquí estamos, en la lucha. Y bueno, estamos aquí.
We were thinking about college, and when the guidance counselor told me that I needed a social security number, she asked, what's your social security number? And I asked, what is that? So I went home and I asked my mom, where's my social security number? And she says, you don't have a social security number. You weren't born here, you were born in Mexico. What does that mean? I didn't understand. So then she explained that we crossed the border illegally. I always thought I had that option of going to Mexico or college, but I was wrong.
Sigue llamando, yo voy a bajar. ¿Tú cuándo le vas a mandar algo?
Voy cuando, tal vez a la semana.
¿Me llamas?
Sí.
Sí, ahora te doy tu cambio.
Mexicans are the largest immigrant group in the United States, by far the largest among the undocumented.
Gracias.
So the pacatera is kind of a band-aid on our immigration system, which is at loggerheads with itself.
Tal vez algún día yo tengo fe y que las leyes cambien y me parte el corazón el no poderla llevar. Porque ella no puede ir conmigo a ver a mis hermanos, a sus abuelos. Yo quisiera que esto cambiara.
We in Arizona have been more than patient, waiting for Washington to act. I've decided to sign Senate Bill 1070 into law because I firmly believe it represents what's best for Arizona.
More than a year later, after SB 1070 was stayed by the courts, Alabama passed an even more draconian law.
Well, I believe that the federal government has failed this country in dealing with the illegal immigration problem. When they don't live up to their responsibility, it is the responsibility of the states to protect themselves within their borders.
Under Alabama's new immigration law, beginning today, police can question and detain suspected illegal immigrants and hold them without bond.
Y tengo 12 años viviendo aquí.
No soy nacido aquí, pero me considero parte de Alabama. Tengo mis 3 hijas, pues mi esposa no trabaja. Lo que se gana aquí de dinero me permite darle a mi familia la vida que yo no tuve en México. Antes de HB 56, vivíamos nuestras vidas normales como cualquier familia tradicional.
Y la ley decía cosas muy feas para todos los inmigrantes indocumentados que vivíamos aquí.
A veces en la calle gritarnos, ¿qué estás haciendo aquí? Lárgate a tu país.
Dejamos de salir para evitar la policía más que nada.
We're not a border state, but yet our elected officials felt that they needed to do something to show that Alabama was tough on immigration. The requirement was that whenever we had contact with anybody and there was a question about immigration status, we were required to go through a lot of hoops to try to verify that. When you have people that have been in your community for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, those individuals have become a part of your community and they have contributed to your community. It upset me greatly because the Hispanic community was not a problem for us. They were hardworking individuals. They weren't committing a lot of crimes in our city. And to all of a sudden to target those individuals and start to deport them, I feel that it was racist. And I felt that this put us right back into that era in the 50s and 60s when we had a reputation for violating the rights of minorities in our state.
When these measures get passed, like in Arizona or Alabama, the ultimate strategy is to make life so miserable that people simply give up and go home.
Mis hijas se dieron cuenta que nosotros no teníamos documentos a raíz de HB 56. Y pues les tuvimos que decir la verdad, porque mis hijas son ciudadanas americanas.
Y les dijimos, era probable que nos arrestaras. Probablemente que tu papi o yo no podamos regresar un día. Ellas son niñas y obviamente su corazón se partió.
I felt very sad. I don't get why they don't want us here.
Porque no me fui. Yo no me hacía la idea de perder todo lo que había hecho durante 10 años.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards.
If you just say the word immigrant today, what pops into people's head is an undocumented Mexican. And undocumented connotes illegal. Illegal connotes criminal and a threat.
This is an ongoing invasion into our country, and it is horrifying for our sovereignty and our rule of law.
We got an invasion of our country, and you're going to lose this country if you do not stop this invasion, which is altering the character of the country.
To use the word invasion to describe what has been happening with immigrants coming from Mexico to the United States, it's much more than a misuse of a word. It's absurd. It's almost ridiculous. I mean, have a little respect for history and what invasions have been. Americans invaded Mexico in late 1846, and they actually grabbed half of the territory.
Most Americans do not know that what we now call the Southwest was part of Mexico, and how the U.S. came to acquire states of Texas, California, New Mexico, Arizona, southern Colorado, and others, because it's not taught.